Welcome, everybody, to the next episode of the Big Drink Energy podcast. As always, I'm your host, Mike. Unfortunately, Alex is not here with us for this one. I originally planned for this to be an in-person podcast. Just our guest only lives about only 2 hours from me, and just like I've driven longer than that for dumber shit than this. But with like COVID and shit going on, I decided against it. But he's part of a group that we've discussed a couple times on this podcast. So I'm gonna get to that when he comes on. But please welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hi.
I am Ambisinister, also known as Eric Bannett. I'm on the show because I have a tier list of like 140 energy drinks on my personal website.
Yeah.
And happy to be here.
Thank you for coming. That's okay. So that's actually the first thing I meant to ask you before we start recording, and I completely forgot. Do you want to go by Eric or Ambi for this? Either way.
Yeah, I mean, whatever floats your boat. I think you know me better as Ambi, so I guess that works fine.
I do, but I've been practicing all week on calling you Eric if you wanted that. Yeah, so...
Yeah, I mean, that was fun.
So you have an energy drink tier list of your own, just like nothing to do with this. I'm like, oh shit, I need to get him on. But
Yeah.
Now, we've talked about Melee Stats before on the podcast. It's come up. You're a member of that. They have a podcast. And I was wondering, is it a content creation team? Is it a community? Is it a cult? What is the grand title of the Melee Stats group? Like, what is it?
Yeah, it's really weird. It really does stretch a lot of little tendrils all over the community. I wouldn't go so far as to call it a cult, although that is a very funny description of our little group. I do think that like we mostly we're like a media collective.
Collective,
the most
okay.
Accurate way to put it. Like it's the mostly driving forces behind it are me, we, and Edwin Budding. And the three of us do podcasting, we do videos, we do, all sorts of freelance stuff for different esports teams. So, stuff you need to be awake for long periods of time. So that's why I'm here.
I believe we talked about Melee Stats in the very first episode, because I went back a couple weeks ago to try and figure out when we recorded the first episode, and me and my co-host got into an argument about who was going to be number one in Melee that year, and it was right after Leffen won SmashCon. And I'm like, dude, we had a whole conversation of this in the Melee Stats Discord. I'll pull it up. I'll show you why you're wrong. But and then we've talked about Tuesday on this, because Tuesday, just like behind the scenes, is doing a whole bunch of stuff with energy drinks.
Yeah. I still remember your interaction with him where he got Venom energy delivered to like your front door.
Yeah, it was.
I thought that was so awesome.
That's actually the only reason I made a Twitter. You asked, is it okay if I tweet this? This is amazing. So you took screenshots of that, and then I made a personal Twitter so I could retweet that because it was too good not to get out there.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Have you listened to an episode of the show before coming on?
I have not.
Okay, no, that's good. We have a running record. I think there's only been one guest who's listened to an episode ahead of time.
Yeah, I know a good amount about the show just from like you talking about it. Like I knew, like okay, I need to be here with the Voltron Cup. Mm-hmm. I'm aware of like your Jocko bit. I'm not completely in the dark, but I have not had the chance to actually listen to a full episode.
The guest we had on 2 episodes ago, DK Drew, he's the TO from Charlotte. He sends me a Twitter message. It's like, dude, you have an energy drink podcast? I love energy drinks. Can I be on? I'm like, hell yeah. So he comes on and just like, okay, how does this work? I'm like, you haven't listened to us? He's like, no, I just knew you had one and I want it on. I'm just like, you had 2 months to prepare for this. It's like, nope, didn't even listen once. So
that's very funny.
Yeah, but you came prepared with the Voltron Cup, so I wasn't sure your how much you've listened to it. But no, I like it. Just I like keeping that record of having no one listen to the show before they're on. So today we have 3 very special drinks. We have Bucked Up Energy, and I bought Bucked Up Energy randomly at a 7-Eleven, and then you got excited because...
Oh no, I was thrilled. I have a very funny story about Bucked Up Energy.
Yeah, lay it on me.
So I was at the mall with my fiance, and I went to my favorite store at the mall, which doesn't have DDR in it, and it was GNC Health, right? Because they got all these energy drinks and pre-workouts and stuff. And I'm like looking at like, random tubs of pre-workout, and the woman that's like running the front desk at the GNC like gets away from the front desk and like comes up to me, and she leans in and she goes, "Do you work for the government?" And I was like, "Oh my god, get away from me! This is so creepy." "No, I don't work for the government." And she like side eyes me and she's like, "Okay, well if you did,
You have to tell me.
well, that would be funny." It said, "If you did, that pre-workout that you're looking at has velvet deer antler in it, and that shows up as a false positive on drug tests. So if you do work for the government, pick a different pre-workout brand." And I felt so bad because I was like, "You are this psycho person coming up to me and asking me if I work for the government." I was so freaked, and she was just like looking out for me so I don't fail a drug test. I was like, "Oh my god."
My brother likes to go to GNC. He goes to the gym, so he'll get like pre-workouts, and like he's a big fan of Bang, and I keep trying to tell him not to drink Bang, but it's like, "Oh, I like it." But and I was telling him that I got bucked up, and I told him that story. He was like, "Oh yeah, no, I know that. I can't even touch it." He recently signed up for the NYPD Academy, and just like yeah, and he's like applying to jobs with like the ATF and the D. He wants to do something at like the federal level, and he has to like go for drug tests and background checks and stuff. So he's like, "I can't even touch it. If I get like even a bit of a false positive, there goes my whole career." I'm just like, okay. Luckily, there's hundreds of other energy drinks.
Yeah, there are plenty. All you need is what? It's like beta alanine, citrulline, and caffeine is like every single fucking pre-workout. So,
and then, so originally the 3 bucked up energies I got that I was going to send you, I couldn't find one of them. I went back to the same 7-Eleven, and I showed him the same picture that I sent like in the Melee Stats Discord, and the 7-Eleven manager is like, "We don't have that. That came here by mistake. We didn't order it. It's not here anymore."
That's awesome.
So I had to I called Bucked Up Energy, and their 800 number was like, "Yeah, we don't actually sell it anywhere near you." I'm like, that's not true. I bought it somewhere. Like I have it already. So then I spoke to like the help desk on their website, and they're like, "Yeah, you have to go to GNC," which first time I ever went to GNC for energy drinks. I normally like go gas station hopping. So much shit in GNC.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's very different from the gas station vibes because they're all like the super specialized, you know. It's I think pretty rare to find an energy drink that has like alpha GPC in it in like a 7-Eleven.
Oh yeah,
that's like my general metric, right? Like alpha GPC is like, oh, like I'm in like the new tropics world now, right? Like I'm not just caffeine in a sugary tasting beverage. But GNC like has all sorts of that type of shit because it's like, oh, it'll give you better mind-muscle connection while you're doing bench press or whatever.
Last time I went to GNC looking for this, I ended up buying Ghost Energy, and I had that for the first time, and I liked those, and I got that at GNC. But you mentioned Alpha GPC, and
yes,
can you tell me what that does? I know it does something. In my mind, it's like the Limitless pill. How far off am I?
So, I have no clue what Alpha GPC does. I will say that I've read quite a bit of people talking about what Alpha GPC does to them. And I don't know what it does. Because I don't know if you've ever spent any time on like Nootropics forums. I spent a good amount of time there just poking around. And it's so funny because you'll get people that like do like you know, Arrowhead style trip reports on like Alpha GPC or Piracetam or whatever, just like stuff you could get like on the internet. And it's like they'll go on these like crazy manic rants about how like it's like I took the drug from Limitless and I could do all this stuff that I've never done before. And I'm like, oh, this placebo is so powerful for you, my friend, because it's never the same thing for Alpha GPC in particular. I have no clue what it does because everyone's experience with it is so different on these forums. So I do see it in all of these, and I'm like, one of these days it's gonna hit, and I'm gonna like, you know, write a PhD thesis in like an afternoon.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be awesome.
I got performance enhancing gaming pills from an energy drink company.
Awesome.
And just like the big thing, it has Alpha GPC in it. It also has Tri Shrooms, which I don't know what that is, but they're advertising it, and like. I don't know what it does, but apparently it's supposed to like make me better at gaming. So maybe I'll go like 1 and 2 next time I go at a local if I take one of these. But
Literally anything other than practice to get better at
yeah.
gaming.
Just like playing Slippy? No, I just give me these pills. I want to limitless my way into at least going even in bracket.
That is awesome.
But yeah, like we said, we have bucked up energy today. We have 3 flavors. We have grape gains with the Z, wild orchid, and rocket pop. Being the guest, you have first pick. Which one you want to tackle first?
I do think that the pocket pop or rocket pop, it's definitely the most nationalist.
Yeah.
So let's go with that first.
Let's get that out the way. So for our listeners at home, all of the bucked up energy, their logo is like a deer head with like antlers, they're all different colors. And the rocket pop, it looks like the American flag. It's red, white, and blue on it. So for y'all to see. I know this is not a video medium. No one can see what I'm doing into the camera, but it's very red, white, and blue.
Let's get it.
Fantastic. Now, I know you haven't listened to an episode, so we have 3 drinks here, and we have to drink all of them 100% and then review them. So I hope you're prepared to get amped.
Let's get it, dude.
Yeah. So, do you know cheers in any languages besides English?
I do know in Japanese it's kanpai.
Kanpai? Okay, cool.
We can do that.
Let's roll with that. Kanpai.
Kanpai. Yeah, this is not bad.
It's not. I was expecting it to be much worse.
Yeah, I definitely was. What this tastes like to me is you ever have the C4 that's also shaped like the American flag?
No, I've only had the lemon lime, like the citrus C4.
Yeah, I think it's liquid ice. No, it's Liberty Pop. That's what it is. I'm thinking 3D, not C4. Liberty Pop. I think all of these seem like they're I don't know if you've ever like gotten the rocket popsicle.
Yeah, like from the.
That's probably what this is actually, because they're all taste the same with these American branded energy drinks.
Yeah, it's
so
like it's like a berry flavor, but somehow patriotic at the same time, and just like they all. You're right. I forget which one. I would check my energy drink tier list, but it's a couple months outdated, so I don't know. But I had another like red, white, and blue. I think it might have been Rip It. I think Rip It is big.
Oh yeah, they have a really good American flag branded one. I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, Rip It.
Yeah.
They actually have those at the gas station near my new apartment, so
nice.
I'm like super excited because I never get to have those.
And they're only 99 cents, so they're very convenient to get to.
Yeah.
And I liked on the Rip It, the one with the American flag. If you look closely, the stars in the flag have smaller flags inside of them.
That is very funny. I have not noticed that.
Yeah, it's like the most patriotic drink can I've ever seen, because it's like you look closer, there's like it's kind of like the hidden Mickeys they have in Disney. I'm assuming they just have like hidden flags all over the can.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, I went back for more, but I'm looking at. Do you know what tea cream is? Is it like creatine but from tea?
Yeah, I do not know. It definitely seems very branded. That's the scary thing for me, looking at like the labels for these, is the more that's like branded, obscured ingredients that are like that's so freaky to me because I have no idea what's in that.
It's like a whole bunch of like trademarked chemicals that only they have access to.
Yeah, it's cool that it has like L-theanine in it. Like I know that'll make it less jittery when you drink it.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, L-theanine is the stuff in green tea that makes it a little bit nicer. Yeah, some people take it like separately because if you take a lot of it along with caffeine, you get alertness with less jitters.
Oh, that is.
So it's a very common one. LVGPC, as we mentioned, is the indescript limitless pill. That's something that I don't know. Beta-alanine is it's a pre-workout thing that I mentioned earlier. I think that's the thing that makes your skin tingle.
Oh, I love my skin tingling. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, but once you get down to like alpha size copyright, I'm like, I don't know what that is. I'll never know what that is. It's a trade secret, probably.
Looking at this, this is like a thing that a bunch of energy drinks have, apparently. Look at how much vitamin B12 it has. Look at the daily like
Yes.
percentage value.
Just 8,000%
Yeah.
ADV. Can't wait to drink 4 of these.
Yeah, again, yeah, exactly. Okay, so that's better than I expected. I don't know what I was expected going in, but I'm pleasantly surprised with the American deer on that one.
Yeah. No, I definitely was expecting it to be like a little bit more sickly.
Yeah.
But it was not bad. It was very much similar flavor profile to like the actual popsicle. So
For those of you at home who give a shit about this, it has 0 calories, so that's good. And I'm trying to figure out how much caffeine it has in a can.
it's 300. It's definitely in the ingredients buried away.
Oh, this is
Caffeine
a
and hydrous. So this is a 300.
gotcha. I've recently found out 300 milligrams of caffeine. It's a little too much for me. I think like a monster at 160 is not enough. By the end of the workday, I'll want a second one. But like 175 to 200, that's like the good middle spot.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I think 300 is very intense because I think it's very funny thinking about how caffeine stays in your body for like roughly 6 hours.
Oh, okay.
So, drinking 2 energy drinks spread out throughout the day, like 2 monsters, one in the morning, one like slightly after lunch or whatever. That's like 320 milligrams
Yeah.
of caffeine, which is like a lot, right? Like it's like roughly the same as like a Rain or one
Yeah.
of these guys. And you could have it throughout the whole day, or you could have it all in the beginning of the day,
Okay.
which is like, it's like the same amount, but it's like a very different vibe.
Yeah.
Just like downing it all immediately and then like being super hopped up for 6 hours. So
I recently got a tub of powdered energy drink for the first time. So I've been scooping that out, mixing it in water. And this scooper, instead of just like being a little shovel spoon looking scooper thing like you have for like protein powder, there's a lid that goes on it. It kind of looks like an upside down funnel. There's like a nozzle to it. And I was trying to figure out, is the serving size of 7 ounces, does it include that nozzle or does it not include that nozzle? So for the first 3 days I've been doing it, I've been including the nozzle, and I looked it up yesterday, and apparently I'm not supposed to, and I've just been giving myself double that without realizing.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And one serving is already 175 milligrams of caffeine.
Goodness.
So I've been having like 350 like the whole week, and just like I'll come home I get up for work at 2 in the morning, and I've been coming home from work. I'm like, I feel great. This is good. I don't need to take a nap. And then I was like, no wonder I'm at 350 milligrams of caffeine. Yeah.
turbo hopped up. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then I poured myself less powder today because I knew I was going to be doing this. So I always have to, just like, if I go over 400 milligrams of caffeine, I don't know what the big deal is. Like, I'm sure I've done it before on accident, but just like, apparently 400 is like the healthy amount that I can have. And I'm like very cautious about going over that. So
Yeah, that's the FDA limit, I think.
Yeah.
I know like bodybuilders and stuff go over that all the time.
yeah, it has to do with like body weight and tolerance and mass and stuff. So just like, I don't know, but
Yeah, you won't die going over that, but it definitely is very unhealthy to be drinking. Like when I get like to the point where I'm drinking like 300 plus milligrams of caffeine every day, it's always like, maybe I should try to cycle off for
Yeah.
a little bit. Like this is like getting a little bit too close to like I'm a bodybuilder trying to cut like trying to experience misery through caffeine overdose.
So coming here, we got 2 more flavors. We have the purple grape grains and the teal wild orchid. Your call. You feeling one?
Well, I mean, so I struck the first one, so I feel like it's
Okay.
your turn. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go wild orchid first. I think grape has like, I know what that's gonna taste like, so I want to save that. I don't know what wild orchid's gonna
Are
taste
you a
like.
grape enjoyer? I'm definitely a little bit dreading. I always think grape is like it's like 20% of the time it's good, but not great, and 80% of the time it tastes like cough syrup.
Yeah, like that's.
So-
I don't particularly like the grape flavor. I just know there's going to be a flavor there. I know what it's going to taste like. Whereas wild orchid, I don't know what it's going to taste like, and I don't want to end on that in case like it's bland. It's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Just like
Right.
grape gains, it's a sure thing. I know what the purple can is going to taste like, but this one, no
Very
idea.
consistent.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Kampai.
Kampai. See? Exactly
Oh.
what I was talking about. Just, what flavor is that?
Yeah. Okay, this one's a lot less good than the Rocket Pop one. Oh my goodness. So, I'm trying to like. You get like 3 waves of different flavors.
Yeah. Carbonated. And like, I'm trying to see if I can find the flavor on it. Oh, here we go.
I think it's supposed to be apple, right?
Green apple, peach, white grape.
Ah.
So those are probably the 3 waves that you're getting.
Yeah, so what is like I think that it's like the way that it tastes to me is it's like a angry orchid or angry orchid like as the first wave.
Okay.
And then like the second wave is like Febreze like wall air freshener liquid. And then the third wave is like liquefying a Yankee candle. So I think definitely a lot less nice.
Yeah. I'm getting, like, I'm not getting, like, that battery acid tingling sensation that I do from, like, a Monster, which is nice. But it tastes like if you spiked, like, not a kid's apple juice, like, little box that they drink, but they have white grape, like, juicy juice boxes. And I think, I think if you spiked that, that's what this would taste like. Just like I'm drinking this and I'm just getting juice box flavor. That's the first thing to come to my mind.
It's like it's juice box flavor, but it's like also like scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think not only does it not taste as good, but the flavor is also significantly like more subdued than the Rocket Pop.
Yeah, I think that like it's nice that there is a subdued flavor because I do think that like a lot of the energy drinks end up kind of samey because like they're all going for that like battery acid like pound your head against the wall type of experience.
And I forget what it is, but Tuesday actually told me what chemical that is that gives it the battery acid flavor, and the reason they have that is to cover the taste of another chemical in the energy drink. And just like there's been studies that the battery acid taste is more enjoyable than whatever the other main chemical is.
Yeah, maybe it's B12. Yeah. B12 I know is kind of gross.
You know what? B12's very gross. We had an energy drink who like it didn't have a flavor. It was just called Extreme B12. That was the name of it.
That was awful.
It was like the most like sour. It was awful. But yeah, just like we got that for free. I won it in a Twitter contest.
That's so funny.
It was the Twitter contest was like it was a picture of the energy drink. It was like caption this in the comments, and there was one other caption, and then 2 people captioned it in a quote retweet, which makes me think they didn't qualify for it because it specifically said in the comments. So it was a 50-50 shot of me winning it. But
let's go.
Yeah. So then that leaves us with grape gains.
Grape gains.
And I have a list of how to say cheers in 50 different languages.
Yeah, let's do one that's not Japanese.
So I'm looking.
Actually, you know what? This has a Korean red ginseng in it. So let's do Korean.
You know, I have Korean right here. It's ganbae. I don't know.
Ganbae.
Okay.
Ganbae.
Ganbae. I gotta open this ASMR right into the microphone. Oh.
Yeah, no, I think my brain is broken with regards to grape flavors. I'm like, oh yeah, NyQuil.
Yeah. See, like, I'm not getting a lot of grape from that. I was expecting the Monster Ultra Sunrise is the orange one, and that's probably like the most extreme fruit flavor energy drink I've ever had. It's very much like it's orange.
Orangey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was expecting that, but like at a grape level. And I'm not getting a lot of grape in this.
Yeah, it's funny. I kind of think of grape flavors on like the purple, like light purple to dark purple spectrum, and I was expecting it to be more purple, like dark purple, given the flavor, given the can being very dark purple. I thought it would be like a lot more. I guess it's like the difference between like a red grape and a white grape.
Yeah.
I guess that's like a good way to describe the color difference that I have in mind here. But yeah, it definitely still tastes like NyQuil to me, but maybe like a little bit more white grape NyQuil.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I think the white grape makes a lot of sense because it tasted similar to the wild orchid one that we had, and that had white grape in it. So that tracks.
Yeah.
And I just found out that they have the flavors over the like the barcode scanner, and the Rocket Pop is blue raspberry, lime, and cherry flavor.
That sounds right.
Yeah, because the Ripid one that's super American is it's their cherry lime flavor. I don't think they had blue.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't think they had blue raz in the Ripid one, but it had cherry and lime. So when I sent you the 3 of these, I had them rolled up in paper towels so they didn't explode in the bag. And when I went to the FedEx store, I was telling the lady behind the counter like, oh yeah, I'm gonna mail these, and she goes, okay, it's not alcohol, is it? And I'm like, no, it's not alcohol. They're energy drinks. Because if it's alcohol, they couldn't just leave it at your door. They have to stop and get a signature to make sure you're over 21.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, it's just energy drinks. And she stops typing and looks at me. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll show you. And I didn't want to show her the bucked up energy because that's like a weird brand. She might think, oh, that looks like alcohol. It's like a black sleek container.
Look like alcohol, yeah.
So then I unwrapped the white Monster that I sent you. And she was like, oh, do they not have Monster in Maryland? So then I'm like, okay, I need to explain myself now. So I told her that the other bag was bucked up energy, and I told her that you couldn't find it, and it's special because it makes you fail a drug test. And then she stopped typing again and looked at me because now she thinks I'm mailing you drugs.
Yeah, that's a very funny thing to lead with. Like, oh no, I'm mailing this because it makes you fail a drug test.
So I had to then unwrap the bucked up energy to show her, see, it's an energy drink. It says energy. This is all safe to go. She's like, oh, okay. But it was like it's a whole process. And I haven't.
Very funny.
Yeah. And like, that's the only reason I didn't mail it to Dr. Ambisinister. Sorry, Dr. Ambisinister. I gave her enough time with the energy drinks. I didn't want to give her more of a hassle. But
like this sketch package that makes you fail a drug test addressed to a pseudonym in Maryland. Definitely super red flags.
Addressed to Dr. Sinister.
I'll definitely get the Fed showing up to my apartment like immediately after getting that package. That's awesome.
So I gave her my FedEx ID to get the employee discount. I haven't worked at FedEx since May, so it's been almost a year since I've been there, and my FedEx employee badge has been expired for 6 months now. But she didn't check, so I still got the employee discount.
Nice.
And then she was like, oh, it's actually cheaper to like send it in 2 nights instead of 5 days because the employee discount. I'm like, great. And then the previous time I went to FedEx to mail Drew the energy drinks for the podcast episode, I got to one of the managers and they go, oh, are you a driver? I'm like, yes. Is that an issue? And she was like, technically, you don't work for FedEx. You're a subcontractor because someone purchased the territory from FedEx. So, like, you work for whoever the subcontractor is. It says in big letters, not FedEx employee. I can't give you the discount. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, no.
And, like, so I've mailed things from FedEx 4 times now. And only once I've had the issue of, like, oh, you're not a real FedEx employee. So I was
funny.
Very
just
happy.
Gatekeeping
Yeah.
FedEx employeehood.
Just like next time I go, if they just ask me like, "Are you a driver?" I'm just gonna tell them no, and then I hope I get the discount. And then just like if they ask me like, "Well, what do you do at FedEx?" I'm just gonna tell them whatever position gets me the employee discount. I work in the warehouse, whatever. But yeah, so they gave us that, and So the only thing, not the only thing, but before we get to your mystery bag, we're gonna do the Voltron cup of these. And when you put in the Discord, hold on, I have to go get my Voltron cup. I was so excited that you knew what you were going into.
Yeah, no, I was like looking forward to this part. I think
Yeah.
more than drinking the drinks separately. I was telling my coworkers at work because it's a big joke at work that Eric blogs about energy drinks. So like I'll go to lunch and like one of my coworkers will be like, "You drink any new energy drinks lately? Anything that we need to know? Any new S tiers?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "No, but I'm trying bucked up energy on a podcast on Saturday." And they're like, "Oh, a podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah. I have to drink 300 milligram cans of bucked up energy and then pour them all into the same cup and drink them at the same time. It's gonna be metal."
Yeah, you have to come back on Monday and tell them you did 900 milligrams of caffeine today.
And they're like, "Okay, don't die. That'd be really bad for the company."
I think it's fun that like they're interested in it. There's been quite a few people who I told I do energy drink podcasts, and they go, "Huh, that's weird." The only people who have been like into it was the another driver who works with me is a big monster head. I worked with him like 5 a.m. to like 11 a.m. So we were only on the road for like 6 hours. It wasn't a long day. And in that time span, he killed 3 monsters. And I'm like, Billy,
Jesus Christ.
what the fuck are you doing? You're going to have a heart attack behind the wheel. What are you...
That's a lot of caffeine.
That
dude.
is
For
a lot of
6
caffeine.
hours?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
And he was like, I like the taste of Monster. Like,
That's wild.
because Bang started making caffeine-free energy drinks. I'm like, who would ever buy that? It's like...
And here, now you know.
Now
People that just
yeah.
slam them down, dude, because they like the taste. That's awesome.
Yeah. So he was interested on it, and I was like, dude, you just did 3 monsters in the span of one route. You should come on the show. He's like, I only drink Monster. I'm like, I'll get we can do a whole episode. You can just review 3 monsters on the air. I don't give a shit. But and then the only other stranger who was interested in it, I ran into the Red Bull vendor at one of the stores. I was bringing bread. He was bringing in Red Bull. So we just like in the parking lot, we're shooting the shit, and he was telling me about like the history of Red Bull and like how like the Americans stole it from like apparently Red Bull is like from China, and then Red Bull like bought it and changed the formula to bring to America. And apparently all of that's a lie. So I don't know what he was telling me about.
Holy moly, you just got super gaslighted. That's awesome.
And like he told me, and I came back in the next episode, and I'm like, dude, you won't believe what Mr. Red Bull told me. And then he was like, I don't know if that's true. And then the episode after that, Drew was on. He was like, I know the history of Red Bull. That's not true at all. He's blowing smoke up your ass. I'm like, fuck, man.
Do you think he has that speech like memorized, or do you think he totally improv'd it while he was talking to you? Like, I'm wondering if he like goes around and being like, yeah, you know, Red Bull was actually like gentrified from East Asia.
I think so. There is like a separate Red Bull company in China. So like if you look up the best-selling energy drinks in the world, number 1 and 2 are both Red Bull, but like one's American Red Bull, one's Chinese Red Bull. So I think he's just wrong on a lot of it. But I don't think he must have improv. I don't think he has this lie planned out. Because how often are people coming to him and asking about the history of Red Bull?
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah, I don't think he has this like prepared. He must have just come up on the spot, or maybe he thinks it's true and he's just like, no, this is what's up.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So the only thing left we have now, we have the Voltron cup. So you just go ahead and pour all of these together.
I've poured it into this cup.
Oh, you got it.
I gotta say, it's really creepy.
Is it?
That there's no color.
Oh yeah.
That is really creepy. I feel like maybe like this is just me, because like most people don't look at the drink. Mm-hmm. So like, you know, it makes sense that they don't like waste money on food dye or whatever, right? But like, you know, you pour like a red Monster and it's red. You pour like an orange Monster and it's orange. Most energy drinks at least try to have some conceit about being the same color as the flavor that they are. This is just white, dude. It's like it's kind of freaky. It's like you're just drinking like sulfuric acid.
Yeah. So like the gas station energy drinks all have colors, but the workout ones you get from GNC, like these are clear, the Bangs are clear, the C4s are clear, like the quote unquote healthy alternatives, the ones with like no sugar, no added like artificial blah blah blah, all of them are clear, and it's very weird. Like if I handed this to you right now, like if you gave it to me,
You just think it's water.
yeah, it looks
or like sparkling water.
Yeah, it looks like very flat sparkling water. Which
Yeah, mine looks a little bit more carbonated than yours, but I'm wondering why that is.
mine is very flat. I don't know. Have you ever tried? Oh, cool! You're turning your camera on. Yeah. Oh yeah, yours is way more bubbly than mine.
Yeah, it's very interesting. You got some freaky ones.
Maybe I need to add more to it. I don't. Nope. That's. All right, I'm getting a bit of fizz now. There you go. A little bit more. There it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Have you done? It makes it sound like a drug. Have you ever? Do you drink powdered energy drinks?
So I drink pre-workout sometimes.
Okay.
Which is not exactly the same thing, but kind of the same thing. I drink pre-workout before working out, and also like I like having it in my house so that if I don't have an energy drink, I don't just like suffer through caffeine withdrawal. But that's bad, right? Like when I get to the point where I'm like, I need caffeine to wake up, and then I like go downstairs and like put 2 scoops of C4 into a cup. I'm like, yeah, maybe this is not sustainable. I do drink pre-workout sometimes. I haven't tried like the G Fuel or anything.
Yeah,
it's like actually branded as an energy.
Have you ever put it in like a seltzer water or like a sparkling water? Like, would that give you like a more carbonated like drink flavor to it? I haven't done that yet, but I was curious.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I've only ever put it in water.
I've only ever put it in water too. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder. Intuitively, that sounds like it would be really nice, but I don't know how you would. I don't know how you would mix it. Is the problem, right? Because like if you put it in like
shake it.
Yeah, because it would just defizz everything. So maybe stirring it.
Maybe stirring it. Yeah. The shaker I got came with like this stir with it.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so the shaker I have, it has like a little spring that you put at the bottom to like mix everything together, and originally was like on this, and it was like just going up and down, but you can take this out, shakes all around, so now I guess I can stir. But yeah, I wanted to try putting it like seltzer or sparkling water, but then I thought, what if it's bad? I just wasted a scoop. I'm like, there's 40 servings in this. If I waste one scoop.
But, it's like, how many servings there is in like the particular, like a tub of the drink? It's usually like 40.
It's 40. I have 2 tubs right now. The most recent one I got, I haven't opened it yet. I got the G Fuel Elden Ring one.
That's awesome. They're so ahead of the curve, already branding Elden.
I pre-ordered it. It's the first time I've ever pre-ordered an energy drink before. I thought it was so silly. But there was another podcast who does nothing with energy drinks. They just like make top 5 and top 10 like video game lists, and one of them was like, "Hey Mikey, just like you like energy drinks, I like Elden Ring. Are you getting this?" He was like, "If you get it, I'll get it." I'm like, "Cool, we're doing it." So I haven't opened it yet. I haven't tried it yet. But there's like an Elden Ring pear flavor, and it sold out immediately. Apparently, people were pre-ordering it up the wazoo.
That's awesome. Yeah. Just gotta slam my Elden Ring pre-workout before I play Elden Ring all day.
Yeah.
The life, dude.
Yeah. Let me come here. I'm at my list of cheers. All right, I'm going to run through a couple, and you tell me if any of them sound good. I have Indonesian, Mongolian, I've done Slovenian. I have Thai. I have Turkish.
Oh, let's do Turkish. That sounds fun.
Turkish? Okay. Turkish is Şerefe.
Şerefe.
Yeah, Şerefe.
Let's do it. You know, that's very interesting. I feel like all the flavors just like weirdly canceled each other out.
Yeah. Like that happens a lot with the Voltron cups, where it tastes like all of the flavors combined, or just tastes like nothing.
Yeah, I think I might have put too much grape in it because you can still taste the grape over a lot of other things.
Well, there's
but
also
there's like almost nothing.
yeah, there's also grape in 2 of the flavors. So like
Yeah,
right
that
off
makes
the bat,
sense,
there's
yeah.
going to be more grape.
Yeah, the Voltron is probably the second best of these.
Yeah, just like I've often found, like I don't think the Voltron Cup. I think there's been like once where the Voltron Cup has been the absolute worst in the rankings. For the most part, like it just tastes like some other version of one of the energy drinks. I think the only Voltron Cup that's come in last place was... So most of the episodes, there's like a theme. Like we're doing 3 bucked up energy, so you put them together. It's like this. One of them, we got 3 different brands of energy drinks, and it was like the first, the second, and the 5th most caffeinated energy drinks on the market. And there was like... That was the only connective tissue. So when you combined the 3 different brands, it just tasted like dog shit because that was just...
Yeah, there's no theme connecting them. That's funny.
That concoction was so awful. Alex, my co-host, when he left my house, he puked afterwards because of all the shit.
My goodness.
He was telling me that he's allergic to strawberries, and there was a strawberry flavor one, so that might be it. But then we looked into it, and it's like fake strawberry flavoring, so we don't think that would make him allergic. So we're trying to figure out if it was the strawberries or if the drink was just that awful.
Yeah, maybe it was, like the 4,500% daily value of B12 that made him throw up.
Yeah. But, yeah, so it doesn't taste like much. It kind of just, like you said, it just cancels out.
Yeah, it's weird. You would kind of expect the Voltron to be like, the mean of the 3 flavors. Mm-hmm. So it makes sense that it's very rarely like the worst of the 3. But it's very interesting that like you're just not getting any taste for the most part. Like it's weird that like there's just no flavor. Then you're just back at the origin 0-0.
Yeah.
On the flavor axis.
I'm trying
That's
to.
Very odd.
I'm taking like a single sip of all of them. I'm trying to figure out for my rankings, where does it go? Because it doesn't taste like much. So I'm trying to figure out, does that no taste, is it better than the bad grape taste? Or is having some
I think
taste?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think my general rule of thumb is if it's like B- tier or lower, I would rather be drinking something else or nothing at all.
Okay.
And I think my initial thought, right, is the Liberty Pop one was like A-. I thought it was pretty good.
Okay.
I thought the other 2 were both like roughly C-. So a drink that's vaguely tasting like nothing is definitely squarely like the B- tier is like that's like where it lands, because it's like if it's actively bad, then it would be lower than that.
Okay, that makes sense. On my tier list, so I originally I think I had it ranked in like 6 or 7 tiers, and then I sent it to someone, and they're like, "This makes no sense. Just score it out of 10." So then I split it up. I have 10 tiers, but then from there, I grouped 1, 2, 3. I grouped like the top 4, the middle 2, and then the bottom 4 into like a grander tier of I would buy it again, I would drink if it was free, and I'm never buying again.
Yeah.
So I think most of the ones that don't taste like much go in the cool if free, like mega tier. So of the 3 cans in the Voltron, do you have a ranking? Do you know which one's first, which one's last?
In the Voltron or of the 3?
Of the 4, including the Voltron.
Yeah, I think I would definitely buy Rocket Pop again.
Okay. Rocket Pop number 1.
Yeah. The other 2 are pretty tough. I think I would put the grape at number 2. This is not including Voltron. Voltron, I think, is clear number 2 here. Okay. I'd probably get the grape, like the purple grape one. The one that's not. I think Wild Orchid is probably the worst, but it's not too far behind the grape flavor.
I agree with you with Rocket Pop number 1 and Voltron number 2. I'm just trying to figure out between the Wild Orchid and the grape which one I like the least.
Yeah, that one is pretty close, I think. I think that the general like Febreze aroma of the Orchid one is really negative for me. the grape one just tastes like, every slightly not that good grape energy drink you've ever drank in your life.
Yeah.
So there's nothing too special. And maybe if it was like the first, I've always had this thought about like ranking energy drinks and how it's like kind of funny that like you kind of need to go back sometimes and re-buy the awful ones so you can more narrowly rank them.
Yeah.
Because I think that like if it was maybe the first grape energy drink I've ever drank, I would think it's like complete terrible, horrible, I hate this type of energy drink. But like the more you drink flavors that are similar to each other, you're like, oh yeah, kind of what I expected. This is okay. It's not that good. But I'm wondering if it's just like the trope of the grape energy drink is making this seem more close to the average than it actually is.
Yeah. I think I agree with your rankings 100%. Rocket Pop number 1, Voltron 2, Grape 3, and then Wild Orchid 4.
Yeah, that seems right.
Yeah. And I think there's also a clear... I think the Rocket Pop is in its own tier, and then I think Voltron could go in the middle, and then I think the bottom tier, like, there's a clear step, like a clear gap between the Voltron and those two.
Yeah, I think so. And those two are definitely in the same tier.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Let me get these out of the way. So you have your own energy drink tier list, which is absolutely fascinating. I thought I was the only weirdo that had one. So let me ask you your thoughts on something.
Let's hear it.
What's your opinion of keeping tier lists behind a paywall?
Keeping tier lists behind a paywall?
Yeah. Imagine if when Panda Global came out, like, here's the new Melee tier list, but you have to give me $5 on my Patreon before you see if Fox is first or second this time. You think that's cool or no?
I think it depends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I think if it depends on whether the tier list is bonus content or main content.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's my media creator brain take on it, right?
Gotcha.
Because like I think for the Melee tier list that would be terrible because like the Melee tier list is like something that people are going to reference as like an important point of the community. Whereas like if you're an independent creator and you have your own tier list, that makes sense to put behind a paywall, right? Because it's like,
okay.
Oh, you want to learn about my personal take or whatever, right? Like if Armada was like special patron benefit, my opinion on the tier list.
Yeah.
Like there's no one that's going to object to that. That's not a big deal. But if it's like Melee Panda Global paywall tier list, like that'll just get leaked immediately. So people
exactly.
can talk about it.
Okay. The big name in caffeine content creation, his name is Caffeine Man. And he has
Caffeine Man.
Yeah, he has the largest YouTube following of caffeine, like of energy drink reviewers. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't just like he's so boring. Just like go drink an energy drink and then do your review. But he has his tier list behind a paywall. And I was hoping you were gonna say no, you didn't like it, and then I was gonna make like an artificial beef between Melee Stats and Caffeine Man. But okay, so I guess you're Team Caffeine Man on that one. Okay, I was gonna tag him and like he ignores all of my tweets, and I'm so mad. A lot of the tweets are just like he always makes the same face. He always goes when he has a new energy drink.
YouTube brain.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
And he reviews Bang a lot, and I'm like, dude, you hear about Jack Owak where he like threatened to fire people if they didn't get COVID? You shouldn't be buying Bang. And he always ignores me. And just like there was one time I was like, hey, do you like this flavor? Just like I just got it the other day. And like I had people in his comments respond to me, but he's been ignoring me. And I wanna get him on the podcast. But word has it that when other podcasts have asked him, he was like, no, I'm too busy for your podcast. So who knows? But it's wild that we're not the only energy drink podcast. Every now and again, I'll go on like the podcast app and just type in energy drink and see what comes up, and like randomly I'll find a new one where they do like 3 episodes, release it in a month, and then they never touch it again.
Yeah, that's the classic podcaster.
Like there's this one in Texas, and I think it's just called Epic Energy Drinks, and they're on Anchor, which is the same RSS feed that we use. But at the end of their episodes, they don't plug their Twitter or their email.
No.
So there's no way for me to get in contact with them. So I sent them a message on Anchor, but because it's a podcast thing, Anchor will only let you send voice messages. And they limit you to 60 seconds.
Oh, no.
So, and I didn't know that. So I'm recording like, hey guys, this is Mike. I like your show. I have a show. Let's work. It cuts me off because I don't know it's a minute. So I have to send them the second one like, all right, guys, it's a minute. I didn't know that. I'm sorry. I have a podcast. You have a let's work together. And it's been like 9 months and they haven't uploaded anything and they haven't responded to me. And I just think that the two people, it's very funny. It's like a couple in Texas and like they just started college. And he's like, man, college is exhausting. I need an energy drink. And the girlfriend's like, I've never had a single energy drink before. And it's like, I think they have like a fun dynamic. I was like, let's collab. Yeah. And then
that's cute.
They haven't done anything. But
yeah, I think if someone tried to send me a message over like Google Podcasts or whatever, like if I had no other method of like Cypher from Bottom of Smash Mountain, and he wanted to like have me on the show, but he couldn't contact me, and he sent me like a voice message through Spotify. There's no chance I would ever see that. I'm incredulous at the idea of opening up like Spotify Podcaster and like seeing the notifications thing and clicking on it and being like, this is totally a real use of my time.
And then like
that's funny.
I had to send them 2 messages because I didn't realize it cut me off at a minute. And then at like the last 10 seconds, I was like, this is stupid. Plug your Twitter. I can DM you on that. Just like do that. But
that's awesome.
Yeah. So okay, I just wanted to get your thoughts on Caffeine Man. I was hoping to make some artificial beef so I can just like we could have internet content. But
well, I mean, you did call him boring, so I do think that there's the potential for artificial. I'll take your word for it. Caffeine Man, maybe a little boring.
I'm gonna send him just that clip. But so you have a energy drink tier list, and I was looking at it, and you have Birthday Cake Bash at the 3rd worst energy drink, which
yes,
I have it as
used
like
to be the worst.
Mine used to be the worst, and then I had Birthday Cake Bash and coffee, and like that mixture that bumped it into 2nd worst.
Oh yeah.
And then your least favorite, the absolute worst one, the Hint Caffeine Kick Apple Pear.
Yes, I think I remember. What in the ever loving Christ is this? Is what I put as the notes, something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly it. What in the ever-loving Christ is this? This is the only one so far which literally was so bad that I could not take a second sip from the bottle. But you have no idea how hard I've tried to find that one energy drink, and I can't get it anywhere.
It's like, yeah, I have very unfortunate news for myself. I moved recently to like a little bit closer to Baltimore. And the grocery store that I go to, so I used to live by a Giant, and that was the grocery store I went to all the time. I drank all the energy drinks that they sell at the Giant, which is really funny because some of them I think were not actually put into the system because they're so unpopular. Like there's like some like obscure I think Rockstar flavor that no one had bought before, so I grabbed it because I was like going through the list. Like I had the whole shelf that I went whenever I got groceries, so I would like go down the list. And I tried to scan it at the self-checkout, and it was like, unknown item. And I had to like call the cashier and be like, why, this is like labeled, like it should be like, what, $2.99 or whatever. Yeah. Like, can I just buy it? And I'm like, what is this? I don't know what this is. I think I was literally the first person to ever buy that product from the store.
Yeah, so...
But I moved, so I have a different grocery store that I'm like trying to get to know. And I walk to the energy drink aisle, and what do I see? A wall full of Hint Caffeine different flavors.
Oh, really?
There's like 50 of them. And I'm like, I've had one of these, and it was the worst I've ever had. And now there's 30. And I'm just going to have to pass it every single time. So maybe I'll send you some of them, because they're right there, and I don't want to buy them.
So with my route, I deliver bread to supermarkets. So each day, every day, I go to at most 7 different supermarkets. So I stop and I check their energy drink section, and none of my stores have it, and none of the stores like I shop at have it. And I check the energy drink section, and the Hint a lot of times comes up in like the sports drinks. It's like over with the Gatorade because it's like flavored water.
Yeah.
Haven't been able to find a single one with caffeine in it. So I was going to get that, and I was going to send it to you for like shits and giggles, but like I haven't I haven't been able to find that anywhere. So I still haven't tried it. And I liked, after I told you, I told you, don't try Birthday Cake Bash. It's awful. It's the worst energy drink I've ever had. You tried it, and then you messaged me, and you were like, this tastes like if someone made birthday cake, but with spoiled milk. I was like, yeah, man, I told you not to. So, with that said, you can go ahead and open that secret package I sent you.
I'm opening the secret passage. I had a feeling that this would be something horrific. So, here I am opening it. It's in this, like, paper aftermarket alcohol.
Yeah.
See what we got. It is Jocko Go. Oh boy, dude.
So I couldn't find your least favorite energy drink. So your second least favorite energy drink is Jocko Go Sour Apple Sniper. Sour Apple Sniper. I was able to find that. They have them at all my Wawas. So
Yeah. I had this for the first time when I was back in Jersey. Because my family lives in Jersey, and they don't have this near me because they don't have Wawas. And they opened up a Wawa like right by my mom's house, so I was like, oh shit, I'll go to Wawa. Maybe they have some interesting energy. And I got 2 drinks. I got the PewDiePie G Fuel.
oh, okay, yeah.
Which I was hoping would taste a lot worse. That was very unfortunate for me because I was like, this is epic. Like, this is gonna be so bad, I'm gonna hate it. And then I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it as much as I wanted to make it funny. So it was really unfortunate. The other one I got was Jocko Go, which I was incredulous about how bad it was. But yeah, Wawa's not hitting for me recently.
No.
Because I'm 0 for 2 on the drinks from there.
I have the Sour Apple Sniper. It's in my dog shit tier. It's in the 1 out of 10. But there's a couple between that and Birthday Cake Bash. Recently, I put in the Melee Stats channel the Jocko Orange one that I have. I think that is the worst energy drink I've had.
Really? I've never seen the orange one.
So, like, Birthday Cake Bash, the first sip is cool. It tastes like birthday cake. And then it gets bad.
Yeah.
The orange one just starts off bad the whole time, and I think the shitty orange flavor is somehow worse than the shitty, like, fake birthday cake flavor. I could not make it past sip 2. Like, I still have the full can sitting in the cup holder of my car, and I have not gone back to it. But, like, I didn't want to send that to you, because maybe you like that one. Maybe that would defeat the purpose of this segment. But I knew you didn't like the Sour Apple Sniper.
All right, let's get through. Jocko Go.
So I was trying to spitball names. I kind of like jerking with Jocko over jamming with Jocko, because I feel like if you're giving me a Jocko Go, you gotta be fucking me. You know, just like it's awful. But
Yeah.
Jocko is not on Twitter. I've been trying to like at him, just like, dude, just what is up with this? And he's not on Twitter. I can't find him. And I think it's funny if you go to, so like Jocko Willink is like a Navy SEAL, and that's why all of these are like military themed. But if you go to his Wikipedia, they list him as a podcaster first, and I think that's very funny.
That's very funny.
One of those is not very hard to do, and one of them is very hard to do. I don't know why they don't, like, I would much rather be known as like if I was Jocko, I would want to be Navy SEAL first, and then podcaster second.
Podcaster, yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. I'm back at my list of cheers. I have Estonian, I have Hawaiian, I have Mongolian.
Yeah, let's do Mongolian. I feel like you've mentioned it twice, so I bet it's probably good.
Mongolian. Okay. There's 2 here, and I don't know. So I have 2 columns. One that tells me what it is in their language, and then one's like the English pronunciation. And there's 2 in Mongolian, and one is what looks like in a Cyrillic alphabet, and then the other one's in like, what's the name of our alphabet? Is it the Latin alphabet?
Yeah, I mean, you the Latin alphabet.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so one's in Cyrillic and one's in Latin, but they're both Mongolian. Do you have a choice?
No, I'm not really.
Okay.
No real difference to me. So whichever one you want to run with.
I'm gonna go the Cyrillic one because that looks more difficult to pronounce.
Sounds good.
It is Uhi Medin Tulu.
Uhi Medin Tulu.
Yeah.
Interesting. Right.
Uhi Medin Tulu.
It's so bad, dude.
So bad. So like back when we used to do Back to the Bang, you'd have to take one sip, let it mellow, take a second sip, and then by the third sip, that's when it got real bad. But this kind of just like right out the gate starts off bad.
Yeah, I know. Bang definitely does get worse for the bad flavors, but
Oh my god.
this was definitely the first of the drinks that I've made Febreze air freshener liquid comparison for.
Yeah.
I think that's the worst part of Jocko Go. Mm-hmm. Is that like for the other energy drinks that taste terrible, you usually know terrible. They smell bad. They smell like they're gonna taste gross. Jocko Go smells great. Like if you just like put this in like a little dish and put it on your I don't know, dining room table, it would be great. It's like this great sour apple candle taste.
Yeah.
But it doesn't taste like it smells, which is very unfortunate.
I'm like, I forget what drink it is, but there's quite a few of them that when you smell it, it smells really intense, and then when you drink it, it's kind of like that Voltron where it has no flavor. It's just like it's bland. This smells good, but then it tastes awful. I'd rather just like not have any flavor.
It's still intense, right? Yeah, just in the opposite direction that you're having in mind.
Let's see your sour apple sniper. It's 15 calories. It's only 95 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah, there's really like not a whole lot of benefit, right? Because I think that like for stuff like Bang, I can kind of see the appeal, right? Like it's a 0-calorie energy drink. It's one of the only ones that has like creatine in it. It's like
it
kind
has
of a weird thing to want to have
super
in an energy
creatine,
drink.
which is a registered trademark, and no one can tell me what super creatine is. Like, I asked the GNC guy what super creatine. He was like, "Oh, well, creatine it helps your muscles absorb water." I'm like, no. Super creatine. He was like, "I got no idea." And like the Bang website in their frequently asked questions, they have what's super creatine. They're just like, it's our like copyrighted blend of X, Y, and Z, and it's good. And that's all it tells you. Just like it's ours, it's good. I'm just like, what is it?
Yeah, I have no idea. I do think Jocko is very interesting that it has Bacopa Monnieri in it, or Monnieri. I don't know how you pronounce that.
I don't know what that is.
In the past. Yeah, that is a that is a memory enhancement nootropic. It is an herb that is supposedly good for long-term memory formation.
Oh.
And yeah, I took it for a while, like with my daily vitamins or whatever.
Yeah.
And I do flashcards like every day for like school and stuff.
Oh, okay. I was about to ask for what. I forgot you were in school. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do like it's this program called Anki or Anki. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like a spaced repetition flashcard system. So like it won't show you all the flashcards every day. It'll just get. So I do those every day. I took Bacopa for like a month, and my short term and medium term accuracy of the cards improved a slight amount. So I think it does something. It's very weird for it to be in this energy drink though.
Yeah.
Especially like only 50 milligrams, which is like not really like a full dose of Bacopa.
Yeah.
It's a very odd inclusion to have this in, because I think it probably makes it taste worse.
Okay.
And normally, because it's it's like a herbal thing, right? And like I think a normal dose is like what, like I actually have the bottle right here. Normal dose of Bacopa is 450 milligrams.
Oh wow, and this is just 50?
Yeah. So like the idea of like that's like per day, right? So like 50 milligrams of Bacopa Monnieri in this Jocko Go beverage feels like just enough to make it taste awful without conferring any of the actual Bacopa.
Yeah, you would have to have 9 of these for you to have like the full serving of your Bacopa,
which is like insane for one day, even if it's only like 95 milligrams.
Yeah,
like, that's a lot of Jocko Go.
Yeah,
for something that tastes so bad, I don't want to have more than one. That's terrible.
Like I don't think I've ever finished a single Jocko Go can. I think I've had 3 or 4 now, and they're the 12-ounce ones. They're tiny. They're not like a full.
Yeah, they're really small.
Monster. Can't do it.
No, it's terrible.
Okay, so we don't add that to the Voltron cup. We've learned that with Bang, where if you add that, it's just like because it's bad, it's just going to bring the whole thing down. So we don't have to worry about that. So the last question I have for you is, if you were to own an energy drink company, what would be the name of it, and what would be like your like signature trademark flavor?
Oh, okay. So this is a fun one, because I constantly joke with my fiance that like 10 years down the line we're gonna be bankrupt because I'm gonna start an energy drink company and it's gonna go terrible. It'll be great while it lasts though. I don't know the name of it. I do know that using Smash terms would be so easy. It would be such a slam dunk because there's so many cool Smash terms, even just like from the actual game. So one energy drink that I think doesn't exist but feels like it should exist is a good lemonade flavor.
Oh, okay.
I think that all of the lemonade energy drinks that I've tried are just terrible. I think that like there's good half and half flavors. Like Monster Rehab is one that
I was
comes
going to
to
say,
mind.
I don't know if I've ever had a lemonade, but I think I've had the Monster. I didn't have the half and half. I had the Monster iced tea one, and that was
like
okay.
Iced tea, that's all right. Half and half is all right. For some reason, whenever energy drink companies make lemonade, it just tastes like super battery acid acidic. But it feels like it should be easy to like hide the negative taste of energy drink ingredients with sour, right? That feels like it shouldn't be too bad. I just think like lemonade energy drink with the tag or like the flavor name of a Thunderjolt would be so sick, right? Like that'd be great. That would fly off the shelves. Maybe like a liquid ice flavor called Shine. That would be a slam dunk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know what I would call. These are all obviously like non-branded Nintendo terms because if I did like the Pikachu flavor, I would get sued into oblivion, and that would vastly speed up the bankruptcy that I was talking about earlier.
You can go ahead and make a part 2 of Why Nintendo Sucks video, just like all about you getting sued.
They sued me. Terrible.
But speaking of Smash flavors, Glitch Energy, they sponsor Larry Lurr, and they have a Smash flavored energy drink. It's called Falcon Smash. I think they couldn't get away with Falcon Punch, and they wanted to make Smash.
Is it punch flavored?
I haven't had it yet, but I can only assume as much. And
because that would be very funny.
They have a non-copyright infringing Falco on it. I don't know if you can see his little beak.
I think that it's pushing the limit, I think, a little bit. The fox on the cover is very clearly not Fox McCloud, so that's all good.
That's the energy drink's like logo. So like no matter what flavor they have the little fox on it. Oh, I have a pink lemonade here, which I haven't tried yet, but I wonder.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, I wonder if the actual lemonade would be good. I don't have one.
Yeah, I just feel like all the lemonade flavors I've had are pretty missed in the hit or miss tiers. So I think that's a untapped potential for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what flavor. I'm sure it's on their website. What flavor the Falcon Smash is, but Falcon. That's everything I have on my end. So while I look up the Falcon Smash flavor, 1, I want to say thank you for being on the show. 2, now is your time to plug whatever you got. I know you have a podcast and a Patreon. I don't know how much of the money of the Patreon you get and how much Edwin steals, so maybe redirect them to your Venmo or something. But yeah, just you have the floor.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you for having me on. This was super fun. I'm definitely hopping up and down on all this caffeine. So, yeah. So if you like energy drinks, you can follow my website. It's planetbanat.net. PLANETBANAT. Or sorry, 2 T's. I'm caffeinated out of the wazoo right now. PlanetBandit.net. I have an energy drink tier list, and I have a bunch of writing about like assorted random topics. If you like Melee, you can subscribe to Melee Stats on Patreon or follow our YouTube channel, which is just melee stats. We make a bunch of video essays. It's real cool. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to boost my ego. I am at Ambisinister _. I mostly post very cynical video game takes and jokes. That's all I really need.
And the occasional, like, really solid Fox clip.
Oh, yeah. I don't have that much time to play Melee these days because I'm working on Melee content and a degree in my job. But sometimes I do get a chance to play the game, and I'm kind of nice with it on the sticks. So you will occasionally see me do that.
I was playing while I was on the phone with my boss today before we were doing this. I had my phone like this, and I had the controller in my hand. I was playing Slippy because I was in front of the computer. So I was playing this Fox, and I beat him with my Marth, my main, and then I beat him with my Jigglypuff, who's like a secondary. And I'm trying to work on a Fox. I'd say a Fox, not even tertiary, like a 4th or 5th character, but like I'm working on it. And like I don't know his name, so I don't feel bad shit talking this player, but like I was consistently like 3-stocking them. So I try to like go to Fox to make it a little bit like more even, because like clearly my Marth was beating them. And I was like, fuck. It's like, Fox is so hard. And then, but like, I was also, you played Green Fox, right?
Yeah.
I also played Green Fox. And like, I jumped off stage. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do something cool. And then I did it. I'm like, how does Ambi do it?
Yeah, dude, it's hard to play Fox. It's also very easy to play Fox. So it's like definitely very, I always say that Peach and Fox are like the opposite of the same character. Where like it's so hard to play Fox, but playing Fox is so easy. And it's so easy to play Peach, but playing Peach is so hard. And Peach players and Fox players just complain constantly about each other and about themselves. So I think it's always funny when people try to play either of these characters. They're like, it's always like, oh, dude, Fox is so broken. I'd be so good with Fox. Peach is so broken. All you do is down smash. And like you play either of these characters, and you're like, no, like this is still hard. It's still about outplaying the opponent. So, like anything else, it just takes practice.
I play a very Oonga Boonga Marth. My entire strategy is either forward smash or short hop forward air. That's my whole thing. Just like,
yeah, I mean, I think that's the way. Like, I think that Marth was really held back for so long by people that that tried to make him out as this cerebral, super brainy character. I really think Zane changed the game, because he was the first Marth in a while that was just willing to grab in place 3 times. Because the 3rd time you get a grab. So I'm definitely pro Oonga Boonga. I definitely think if you've ever seen Stango play the game, he's like my favorite example of like the other one that is underrated. You just gotta be willing to embrace it. You know what I mean? Don't make it about more than it is.
Back when I was working in a school, in the after-school program on Fridays, I was allowed to bring my Wii and hook it up to the CRT they had there. So when the kids finished their homework on a Friday, they were allowed like an hour of video games. And I hooked the Wii up, and I had Melee on it. That's like the only because I was like running locals at the same time. So it was like the Wii, and the only game on it was like the 20XX training pack and then like vanilla Melee. So I would bring that. And they're like, oh, what games do you have? I'm like, I only have Smash. They're like, we love Smash. And I'm like, what is this? Where are all the other 30 characters? Because they were used to Smash 4 at the time.
Yeah.
And everybody was playing it, and they're trying out characters. And someone asks me who the best character is. So then I'm like, okay. So on the blackboard, I write out the tier list for it. And everyone's like, oh, great, I'm going to use Fox. I'm like, nah, Fox is very hard. And I told them, Marth is good and easy. Just, you see that yellow one? Just boom. And just like, especially at like 7-year-old levels, just like Marth forward smash is broken.
Yep.
Until someone figured out, not even like short hop laser, just Falco standing laser, the Marth can't get you with the sword. Just like stay at the other side of the screen. I had one player, he was in 2nd grade. He refused to switch off a Kirby. And his whole thought process was, well, Kirby's the best because he can suck up all of the powers. So if you have a good character, I can suck it up and I'm good. And he was like, I'm good for any game, any character. Kirby will just be better. I'll just suck you up and take your powers. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna argue with a 7-year-old on this.
Bulletproof logic, yeah.
I just think it's very funny how like a lot of casuals, like some people think like that, and some people think, oh, Kirby's a cute ball. I'll play as Kirby, and just like I think it's funny how common he is with like the casual audience.
Right. Yeah, I think that there's like fun emergent gameplay properties at lower levels of. Like I think I was talking to my brother about this once because he's really good at Overwatch.
Okay.
Or he was back when that was like a popular thing to be good at. And like if you ever play like super low level Overwatch games like on ranked mode, there's a temptation like if you're like a good Overwatch player that like the bronze leagues are all like people not trying very hard. But no, there's like an established like bronze league meta where like you play the character that like turtles in one spot and you make like a turret and you're like shooting people and like that's terrible at the higher levels. But if you don't do it, people will flame you. They'll be like, you're not trying to win. You got to try to win. And it's very funny. Like I feel like there's like a little bit of that in like every single game where like the lower level have these like established strategies that are like good, but only if you're a lower level player, like within the confines of like the human mind playing the game at the particular skill level you're at. I think that's very funny. Like this Kirby example is good.
Yeah.
I think is like, oh, this totally makes sense. I could do everything you have.
Yeah, like they started to develop their own meta of like people who picked it up like day one, and just Marth was the meta until someone figured out Falco, and then everyone was doing Falco except like the one Kirby guy. And it was funny because like every Friday I would run a bracket and I would put on the blackboard and they were really excited to see their names on the blackboard, even if they had to. It was also a good way for them to wait their turns. Just like no, you gotta wait. So that was fun. So I started keeping like records of like who was up. I was like, oh man, someone's. I'm trying to remember his name. I forget who it was, but he was. We've had like second grade up until sixth grade play. And there was a third grader who was beating everyone. So the second grader was like, oh, it's okay. He's older. He's good. But the fifth and sixth graders were pissed they were getting beat by a third grader.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it was like funny to see like one of the fifth graders came to me and was like, this third grader keeps winning. Give me advice on how to beat him. And just like it was funny to see like their own tiny meta like evolve on how to beat this one third grader. Like
that's
like
awesome,
not get good at the game, just beat this one kid.
Right.
But
that's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and put your Twitter and your tier list in the show notes in case people, like, I spelt your name wrong shipping it to you, so I'm just going to copy and paste the website to make sure I don't spell that wrong also.
Yeah.
But over on my end, you can follow me on Twitter at Mikey Tabletop. You can follow the show at BDE Pod. You can stay up to date on all of our new episodes. We also do a shit ton of other podcasts, and they're all under, like, that umbrella. We have this new one. It's called 0-2 Heroes, where we pick a fighting game that we have zero experience in, and we have 2 weeks to practice as little or as much as we want, and then we fight and review it. And like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, just like it's a lot of fun. We're not getting a lot of listeners on that because it's new, but I'm getting a lot of feedback of, oh, that seems like a cool idea. So just like, if you're interested in that, it's all on the one BDE pod. Ambi, have you ever had any of the glitches?
I have not. They seem very, very colorful though, so
they're very colorful. We were very surprised with how good they are. So if you want to try them out, when you go to Glitch, if you want to save 10%, you can use promo code BDEPOD to save 10% at checkout.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just like, I'm very excited. This is the first episode I get to announce this, but we have like a promo code for Glitch now, so you can go ahead. Just both you being Ambi and you being the wider general audience, save 10% at checkout. Use my name. So that's cool. And I think that's everything on my end. I don't know if I have anything else, but like, this was a lot of fun. Thank you for coming on. It's like fun to find someone else who's like equally as into energy drinks. It's like a very niche thing to be into.
No, it was super fun being on. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, no problem. I got nothing else. You got anything else?
No, I think I'm good. I think I covered everything.
Okay, cool. Well, listeners, thank you for listening this far. I have no idea when the next episode is. They kind of just happen when they happen. But thank you for sticking around, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.